This is Julie Johnson, and I am really just so excited to be joined this morning by John Harrison. He is one of our community partners, wonderful partner to our chapter with Phillips. He's the president of the Federal Division. Phillips, by the way, is an international company based in Maryland, and we're going to have some time to just learn some things about what Phillips is doing. So a lot of exciting things happening in the Quad Cities at the Rock Island Arsenal in the Innovation Center, it would seem.
Yeah, we're excited about it. We're locating some of our engineers to the Quad Cities area. They're excited. They visited a couple times and know the community. It's a vibrant community. We expect that as a part of our partnership here, it should increase the workforce in the area. We hope to engage commercial entities out there and offer them experiences that probably aren't there yet through training of additive and incorporation of different technologies. So we don't want to just print parts to print parts, just to prove a technology. Yes, it's important to have those digital twins so that at time of need you can print, but we want to recognize which parts are additive parts and which parts aren't. I mentioned that because recently everybody's going through the pandemic and things have changed, and I have my face mask here, and the supply chain for PPE equipment had been challenged because the traditional supply chain of what's on the shelf and how much you needed to produce through your traditional manufacturing methods had been exhausted pretty quickly. If you had a digital twin file that you could leverage additive manufacturing at the time, you could turn on additional manufacturing on demand. Now, the additive community, not just EOS or some of the other manufacturers, responded by creating parts and started manufacturing them. But we lost a few weeks, maybe even months, where if we had that capability and a digital twin file of how to make those parts on printers, we could have responded quicker. So we have a creative going right now with the Marines to investigate the possibility of part selection and creating these digital twins. And the Army, a few months ago, has signed on to it. Ground vehicles have signed on to this to explore that possibility. So we can start picking the right parts based on need, ability to manufacture, and create some of those digital twins. And you would think it's kind of easy because maybe there's some software that's commercially available, but it's the DoD's need for and criteria for part selection is very different than commercial needs. Commercial needs for part selection could be, well, is it economical to print? Versus the DoD's need is most likely, how quickly do we need it? Can we get it through our traditional supply chain? So we're tailoring our part selection tool to match the needs of the DoD, and we're excited about partnering with the Marines and the Army on that.
Before we started recording, you had talked about the response during COVID and printing those parts for respirators. And did you actually do any of that at the Arsenal? Were you testing any of that here?
So we weren't directly at the Arsenal at that point. Our public-private partnership wasn't there. Our team supports these efforts. So we did some part development with the university entity in Texas and printed some of those things. EOS is our partner in additive manufacturing, has done a lot, and you can see them all over social media with some of their prints. One of our applications engineers went down to a Navy base as they were generating PPE and helped them understand how to use a printer that we actually don't provide. He just had the experience, so we sent him down and he helped.
We all, you know, needed to do what we could. So Phillips certainly rose to that challenge. What's coming in the future then? What can we look toward now that this is launched and rolling? What do you see down the path?
Our CEO has sort of planted a flag that he wants to be part of the transformation of the supply chain and logistics, and wants to create a vision that in 10 years, people aren't waiting days or weeks to get a part. It should be hours. It's quick to send a digital part and print it. Should be about as long as you really need to wait for an essential need. And that inventory is significantly reduced. So you're not moving mountains to point of need. And we don't know what that all looks like right now, but that's our focus, is to work with the Army and work with prime contractors to develop and ask the tough questions and then find solutions for that. And that's why we're doing the part selection as a first effort. We also are doing a workforce development effort with OSD at a community college in Danville, Virginia, that has an incredible workforce development program for traditional machining and welding. We're introducing additive manufacturing in that, and it's got a lot of interest. But we're interested in moving the needle.
I think that's a great bottom line. It's all very exciting what you're doing. And really, from the standpoint of supporting our soldiers and folks that are really on the front lines and many different capacities, to be able to have this is just huge. Thank you for the work that you're doing. But this has just been so wonderful to spend some time with you this morning, John. And before we close, I just want to make sure that everyone understands, you know, what Phillips does, you know, and what they bring to the Quad Cities.
Yeah, so, you know, if you asked me that 20 years ago, I would have said we're a machine tool distributor that, you know, sells machine tools and takes care and sells parts to the Department of Defense. Now we view ourselves as a partner that's going to help transform the way supply chain and logistics are done in support of the warfighter. And we're excited about that. We've transformed our company to lead from services and applications. And we look forward to working shoulder to shoulder with the Army to address some of these big challenges.
We appreciate it, and absolutely appreciate your partnership and support of the people that live in the Quad Cities community. You know, to step forward as a community partner for us and provide financial support that makes it possible for our chapter to do what we do is huge. So we really appreciate it. Hopefully
we get out for a few local brews and maybe to the beer stube to have a sandwich there.
Yeah, next time you're in town, I'll take you around to a few places. You got to make sure you get a good taste of the Quad Cities.
Great. We'll
have to be careful though. You may fall in love with it here. That's what happens. You know, people come here and they don't want to leave. So
it is a beautiful community. I understand we've been out in the winter. It's a little colder, but it is a beautiful community, and it's really neat to see what you guys have done and the history there. You know, and talking with some of the partners that work at the base, they seem very proud of where they live and where they work and how they support the warfighter. And we're glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, DoD's rocked since 1862. That's the deal. Well, thank you again. I really appreciate your time. And you know, if anybody wants to contact you, what's the best way for them to reach out?
Our website's phillipsfederal.com.
Okay.
My name's John Harrison. And
excellent. Thank you again.
Thanks very much, Julie. Oh, thank you.